Live from Vancouver, Canada. We're back for broadcast number 7. That's right, it's Bvtw, back with this week's celebrity news. It's your boy Blue here, your host for tonight. We've actually been away for a few weeks now, so I've got a couple of older stories as well as some new ones. But don't worry, I still won't be pulling any punches. In fact, the time away may have made me even more unhinged. Keeping that in mind, let's get into it with our very first story. Right off the top tonight, insane story out of Wisconsin as a woman choked a man to death during sex and then cut him into pieces. I know sex workers cost an arm and a leg these days, but this is ridiculous. Apparently, the man's head was found in a bucket, his torso was in a storage tote, and some of the other parts were found in a crock-pot box. She said she did that to cut down on shipping costs. Those UPS rates are insane. She said, and this is a direct quote from the complaint, the police were going to have fun trying to find all of the organs. Sounds like quite the time. Actually, with Easter right around the corner, it could be a nice fun game. The Easter leg hunt. They actually found more pieces in the basement in some boxes. They found a box labeled old dancing gear. Turns out the man used to dance but stopped because he was just awful at it. Inside the box, 2 left feet. Bruh. In another box, they actually found, well, let's just say it was a box of junk. You know, I've always known this, but it just proves my point. Never trust a girl that says, "Gimme that dick." There's always some kind of price involved. If that wasn't crazy enough, the woman actually performed some sexual acts on the body 2 to 3 hours after death. She did say, though, that he must have enjoyed it because he was pretty stiff. Sadly, after that, he gave her the cold shoulder. Aww. 24-year-old Taylor Business has now been charged with first-degree murder, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault. When asked why she did what she did, she said, "Well, that's none of your business." Let that be a lesson. Whenever someone asks for head, just say no. It could save your life. In other crime news, Harvey Weinstein made headlines last week after getting caught in jail with a box of Milk Duds. I heard the same thing happened to Subway Jared too, but he prefers a nice Baby Ruth. The guards actually asked Weinstein how he had been getting away with it the whole time. He said, "Hey, I've got a couple Twix up my sleeve." Interestingly, this is the kind of thing that got him in trouble in the first place. A woman asked him for a payday. Instead, she got his Mr. Big with a side of Nutter Butter. But she was happy to also walk away with $100,000. Also, fun fact, Elon Musk's favorite? The Mars bar. Epstein's favorite? Kinder Surprise. We're having fun over here. For our next crime story, where else would we go but our favorite place in the world, Florida? This week in Florida, a retired police captain was acquitted after shooting someone in a movie theater after the man threw popcorn at him. He ended up claiming that it was all in self-defense. I mean, I get it. The salt levels in that popcorn are lethal. It was said in court that the incident all started after the man was texting during the movie. The police captain was upset by that, and eventually things escalated to the point where the man threw the popcorn at him, to which he responded by shooting him in the chest. I mean, what can I say? No texting in the movies. Everyone knows that. Everywhere else you get kicked out. But in Florida, you're legally allowed to shoot them. It's the law. Look it up. For his bravery in the whole popcorn fight, the retired police captain actually earned himself a promotion. Yep, he's actually a colonel now. This next one is for the homies of MMA Twitter. If you've been paying attention to the UFC for the past few months, you'll have heard about Jon Jones getting arrested in Las Vegas. Of course, adding to his list of records. In this case, the most arrests in UFC history. Last week, though, footage was released of Jones headbutting a police car as he was being arrested. As a result, the police car has now become the new bantamweight champion of the UFC. He stated that he just can't handle alcohol anymore, and that's the problem. Because of that, he's vowed to stop drinking. But he said, hey, cocaine and steroids are fine though. I need to get back into fighting shape. Sadly, after the incident, it's been revealed that he's permanently split from his longtime sparring partner, his fiancée Jessie. He said the split came after she lost yet another fight to Jones. Still undefeated, baby. Yeah! He still plans on returning in 2022, though, of course, this time moving up to the heavyweight division, where he plans on being the first fighter to be stripped of a belt in 2 divisions. Exciting stuff. In other combat sports news, well, a fake combat sport news this time, the WWE's Scott Hall was hospitalized after taking a fall. Yeah, apparently he broke his hip falling out of bed. Had to call Life Alert. 'Cause he's old. I'd like to say this is another sports news story, but who am I kidding here? A cyclist was in the news after getting charged by a bull, thrown off his bike, and attacked again. Honestly, I think the fame is going to Ferdinand's head. First Paddington the bear, now this. That's just sad. But you know what? I bet he was cycling in the wrong lane here. There's a bike lane right there, Tony. You're not a car. He says he won't do it again, but you know what I say to that? Bullshit. New Kanye news, of course, over the past couple weeks. Yes, there's Donda too. Yes, he's dating someone who is a lookalike of his soon-to-be ex-wife, which more people should really be talking about, because that's legit insane. Seriously, get help. But that's not what we've got tonight. We're talking about his new fashion line. Prepare yourselves, folks. This is the cutting edge of fashion. This is Derelict! The line is a collaboration between Kanye and Balenciaga, as well as Glad. Because of the promo I told them I'd be giving this episode, they actually sent me one of the pieces to show you. That look will cost you $10,000. Thankfully, they sent one to Loki too. Let's see it. Looking good, buddy. Over to another furry friend. A bear named Hank the Tank was in the news after breaking into homes to get food. By the looks of it, he's done quite well. Hank weighs 500 pounds and has been spotted over 100 times since July, and one of those was from the space station. Are we fat shaming a bear? Yes. Yes, we are. Hank is so fat that when I tried to print out a picture of him a couple weeks ago, it's still printing. Hank is so fat that when he went back into his cave to hibernate, he got stuck. Hank is so fat that when they took his pelt to make a carpet, it covered the whole house. Still had some extra left over. Hank is so fat that the last time he ate fish, he was arrested for illegal overfishing. Actually, that's not true. The only fish he eats are Swedish. All I'm saying is he may need to lay off the bear claws and gummy bears. Turns out there's actually a happy ending to the story, though. They were taking steps to remove Hank from the area, but actually did some DNA tests and found out that he wasn't the only bear breaking into houses. There were at least 3 others. Wow. Not all black bears look alike, okay, people? We should be past that by now. But once again, DNA saves the day. For our final story, it's a big one. If you haven't heard of this guy over the past couple weeks, Where have you been? Simon Leviev, also known as the Tinder Swindler, has been in the news as he's seemingly getting back into his lifestyle somehow after getting out of jail. He's been seen buying expensive everything and has even been spotted at a Ferrari store. When the manager of the store asked him how he'd be paying, Simon said, "I'm on a Netflix show. You can trust me." If that wasn't crazy enough, he's actually trying to get his own dating show. They haven't quite settled on a name yet, but I've got a few. Who Wants to Be a Fake Millionaire? Who wants to be a fake millionaire? Bah. In that one, the more questions you get wrong, the farther you get. The next one is a variation of The Bachelor, but instead of kicking people off, he secretly gives them all a rose week after week and ends up marrying all of them without them knowing. And of course, you've got the classic game of Simon Says. All you gotta do is do whatever he says for the rest of your life. It's simple. They've actually also got one planned with a famous actress, and it's in collaboration with another famous show. It's going to be about the Tinder Swindler and Tilda Swinton swindling toddlers and tiaras and street sweeping in Turtletown, Tennessee. So if you want to see Tilda Swinton swindle toddlers and tiaras with the Tinder Swindler and sweep in the streets of Turtletown, Tennessee, then that's the show you want to see. By the way, I tried to research that joke by Googling Tennessee tongue twister. Do yourself a favor and don't do that. You'd think that that would be the end of it, that common sense would prevail and we'd be seeing him in jail. But this is 2022, folks. It was shown that he's got a Cameo account and he's been charging people $200 for videos. And not only that, he made $30,000 in 3 days. I didn't even write anything for that one. The real joke here is that we live in a world where people are stupid enough to do that. But hey, if you ever feel like an idiot, just know that people are openly giving $200 to the most famous con man on the planet right now. And if you still have a little bit of faith left in humanity, it'll be gone after you hear that he's also set up appearances at clubs for a price of $20,000, plus a flight by private jet, a suite at a 5-star hotel, car service, and security. I mean, why con someone out of millions? Well, people will just give you the money. Next, we're going to see BTK come out of prison and people will just line up. OMG, I'm such a huge fan. Can you choke me a little bit? It's for TikTok. Okay, now slit my throat so we can go viral. I'll pay you 10 grand right now. It'll be fun. That brings us to the end of the news this week. If you've got any news stories you want me to cover for next week, shoot me a message or leave a comment below. Of course, this show makes fun of everyone, so I want everyone else to do the same. Leave your jokes in the comments below, down in the war zone. Put your own jokes about what I've talked about today, or even make some jokes about me. If I like what you've done, you might see your post on Twitter, Insta, or maybe even a video in the future. But that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And remember, stay true to you. Stay blue.